Gregoire Munster into the stage, but as you said, incredibly exciting in the WRC2 category. It's particularly if Roberto Dabra can not just score his first ever WRC2 podium, but take a win here on home soil. So yeah, we'll be keeping our eye on that. They'll be coming through a little bit later on, but for now, it's all about Gregoire Munster following Josh McAleen into the stage.
Yeah, really rapid as well, isn't it? Early on in here, it's so narrow. It's been the signature of the Sardinian round, hasn't it? Just how tricky it's been this year. Really incredible speeds, considering the narrowness of the stages. We've seen so many incidents. I mean, we always do here, but it really has been a brutal edition of the Sardinian round. And yeah, these M Sport boys, it was all over, wasn't it, on that very first morning? And they'll really want to come back with a bang in Greece in a couple of weeks' time. And of course, that seems to be what they've been already planning for over the last 2 days. Is become an extended test session for the Acropolis.
Yeah, M Sport working very hard on the dampers, just the general kinematics of the car, suspension, all that kind of stuff to try and get it to where they want it to be. And definitely found some pace coming into Sardinia. That's encouraging going into Greece. And yeah, for now, it's just get Josh and Gregoire safely to the end of the stage. I don't think they're going to be in the running for power stage points, PK, because the surface of the road is still very dirty, and this isn't like the Wolf power stage that we had in Alghero on the other side of the island, where the stage actually got slower. This will continue to clean, I think.
Yeah, it's been a tough one for them. Meanwhile, Super Sunday standings, you saw the graphic at the start. It is Ogier, Tanek, Rothenpera, Evans, Neuville. Fairly big gaps actually already in that fight for the bonus points too. So yeah, the M Sport boys not able to do anything really, being first on the road again. Interested to see what Adrien Fourmeau can do in here as well. Still tricky, third on the road, but maybe a chance to get some sort of consolation after what's been a really rough weekend for the Frenchman, after starring really on the opening day. There's this incredible climb up and over the hill. Beautiful stretch of road, this.
Look at that, look up into the distance, the top of your screens. That's where we're headed. It's just hairpin after hairpin after hairpin after hairpin, and so much time can be dropped in here by making mistakes. You just got to be neat and tidy. Yeah,
and it's that descent, isn't it? We saw earlier, really tricky, and still the same twisty, undulating corners, unseen crests. We even saw it at the start of the show. Ogier got caught out at one of those crests, and it was exactly one of those that did for Emil Lindholm. I mean, we saw him whacking his look at the views here of the ocean in the distance, so the coastline up here in the northwest of of Sardinia. Incredible scenes. But yeah, Emil Lindholm, we saw him whacking his pace notebook down. You assume it was either a mistake they made in the recce, or a misheard or a misread pace note, but it's so tricky in here. You've got to be absolutely focused on the descent, on those notes.
Yeah, well, we touched on it earlier, didn't we? With this being a new stage, it's just enormously unfamiliar territory. And whenever there is unfamiliar territory, whenever there is a new stage, you have to rely on the notes. You have to rely on the drivers and co-drivers in the recce getting the notes right. The margins are so fine in the World Rally Championship at the moment in Rally 1 that you just can't afford to make any mistakes like that. And Emil paying a really costly price earlier on.
Yeah, it was really frustrating for him. I didn't want to commentate to curse him, but we were just bigging up, saying, well, he might get himself in the mix in that championship fight. But what it has done, yeah, really opened things up. I mean, Kaito, I don't think he's won a round since Kenya a couple of years ago. Roberto Dabra, of course, the young Italian, how sweet would that be? I saw him moments ago, actually. We had that service, didn't we, just before the Wolf Power stage, which is a rarity. But yeah, he's got a big grin on his face, Roberto, as he looks forward to what would be an incredible weekend. And how nice would that be to see an Italian on the top step of the podium in a few hours' time. Here we go then, Josh on the descent.
Still cleaning an awful lot, PK, isn't it? I mean, as I said, it's nowhere near as bad as it was when Josh first came through this morning, but still cleaning considerably. I think the more cars that come through, we are going to see the grip levels just starting to come up for sure.
It was one this morning by Kalle Rothenpera, did an 11:58.7. interesting to see how many drivers get past that benchmark. Obviously, that was the first time it was driven in anger. Always interesting, isn't it, to have a new challenge added in a shaken-up itinerary this weekend by the ACI organisers.
Really important on a stage like this to keep the car moving, to keep the momentum in it. And you know, if it's sliding and you're going from left to right, just keep the momentum going, keep the change of direction going. You don't want to lose any of that momentum because it suddenly all just saps away and you end up having to, you bog down and end up having to leave a load of time somewhere. So it's just really important on these corners where it is just point to point to just focus on carrying the speed, carrying the momentum.
Yeah, and look at how much roadside furniture as well there is as they continue this descent down towards the beach.
This is all man-made through there.
Yeah.
That's literally, that was field and they've just cleared it and put dust and gravel down. Quite a bit of this stage is that. And underneath that dust and gravel, you don't have a hard bedrock road. You don't have the hard road. You've just got field on top of the grass, so it's very, very slippy in some places.
Not actually as rough, but it might be a bit more rutted than this. It's sort of, most of the stage so far has held up pretty well.
Down towards the end of the stage, it'll start to get a bit messier.
This is where we start getting to these undulating, it's crest after crest and unseen corners. Really got to concentrate now for huge boulders on the side of the road as well.
Now we start to punch downhill. Really tricky to drive the cars downhill. We've been talking a lot about that this weekend, how difficult it is to drive the cars as you're going uphill and as you're going down. Carrying the momentum on the way up, not stalling it at slow hairpins, a real challenge, but on the downhill sections.
There's our rally leader just making his way out. Shows you how close we are to the service park here in Olbia. Set for that potential record-breaking 5th Sardinia win. And we saw massive drama, didn't we, on the Wolf Power stage this time last year with Seb just losing out right at the very end. So the joint closest ever finish of 0.2 of a second. Will we see similar drama this weekend? This is where it gets really roller coaster-like towards the flying finish here.
We're pretty much at the end of this stage, you're right. Look how dusty it is still, PK. And as we're saying, yeah, very difficult to drive the cars downhill. You're putting a lot of pressure on the brakes. Very easy to outbrake yourself, and that is Josh McAleen's weekend done. And I think all...
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, isn't it? It started off so well with a 6th best time. He beats Robin Perez's effort, though, there by 4 seconds.
His second run through will be a lot cleaner.
It's going to get quicker and quicker,
every car, I wouldn't be surprised if most cars beat that, to be honest.
Yeah.
With the exception, perhaps, of this man, Jordan Sardegna, who's a gentleman driver, shall we say, but if there's a Spirit of the Rally award, I'm giving it to Jordan Sardegna.
Let's hear from Josh. Difficult weekend.
Josh, that's the end of it. It's been a tricky, painful couple of days, but you take away good learning.
Yeah, a lot of good learning, and hopefully someday we can use this for the first day, this driving them first on the road. But honestly, a big thanks to the whole team, because even before this last service, it was a big job inside 7 minutes to fit a front left damper. So yeah, a big kudos to them, and hopefully it's some good learning for Greece, and it definitely means you have to have a good Friday in WRC.
Yeah, it's been a busy one for the teams as well, isn't it? They just had that 15-minute service. It's quite a lot to do for the Toyota boys on Sami Pyri's car. We'll get to him when we see him shortly. Greg Munster then, in a similar situation to his Irish teammates. Been out there trying all sorts of different settings ahead of Greece. It will be a higher ride height for the rocks and ruts of the Acropolis. We thought this one was tough. I mean, Acropolis in June, Chenny, that's going to be a very, very tough event in 3 weeks' time.
Gregoire just threading the needle. The trick to a stage like this is just being patient, not rushing it, not forcing the car into the corner, out-braking yourself, because all you're doing is just sacrificing all of your exit speed, and you normally get punished through the next section of corners as well. Just have to be patient.
Yeah, you can get a sense, can't you, about how dusty and sandy some of this stage is, and the ruts are going to appear. It's going to be softs all round in terms of the tyres. You just saw the graphic on your screen.
I think for those who've got a decent set of softs left, remember there's an allocation, right? But for those who've got a decent set of softs left, then that's absolutely the tyre to be on. We might see the hard compound tyre being run in places just because the softs aren't available. They've used them up throughout the weekend. But for sure, the Hankook soft tyre has stood up very, very well to the conditions. It's definitely been the optimal tyre to be on most of the time. Yeah. The difficulty has been is when you can use it. It's right here into this right hand. You saw Emil Lindholm just out-braking himself, carried way too much speed over the crest, just went straight on and dropped it into the trees.
Yeah, they did get the car out there eventually. I actually saw him coming back to service a little while ago. He was stuck fast, beached in the bushes at the bottom of that hill. Got a feel for Emil and Renton Malalainen. Munster a little bit quicker than McAlean in here. 3.4 up at that last split at 13 kilometres. And he jumps over the flying finish, breaks that timing beam, just running on there. The clock will get you the final time when it pops up. Yeah, he did a 11:51.4 there, 3.3 seconds quicker than Josh.
All in all, yes, it's not been the weekend that M Sport wanted, but there has been a vast amount of learning gone. There's been a vast amount of data that they've taken from this as Adrian Foremost sends that Hyundai i20 into the stage. M Sport now go away, they regroup. Yes, there's a fairly hefty repair job to do on Martin Sesk's car, who will be in Greece. There's work to do for sure, but it's
Greg, it's a similar question to you than Josh. Been a tough couple of days, but what have you taken away from it?
Yeah, I mean, for sure it's a disappointing weekend for the team with what happened on Friday, but boys and girls did a good job to allow us to be back on stages, do some settings to prepare for Greece. So yeah, I'm not saying we found a lot of things, but at least we had a chance to go at it and have some ideas.
Yeah, fact finding mission complete. It is going to be really interesting, isn't it, to see how they get on. Yeah, poor old Martin Sess. It was all in the same stage Friday morning, stage 2, where it all went wrong. But yeah, Martin, we know has got a bag full of pace as well. I really want to see the Latvian again star like he did on his couple of outings last year. Yeah, Adrian Fourmeau then, is there going to be a chance to push in here? He's not set the world alight in the Super Sunday standings currently. This is his last chance to get anything out of what had started so strongly again for him. He's just waiting for this run of bad luck to end, and certainly fighting right at the front through Friday.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, Adrian, we saw him on the previous stage today. He was taking it very, very easy on the penultimate stage of this rally to try and, he said, to protect the tyres, which says to us that he didn't have a brand new set of soft rubber to use or to bolt on for this stage. It comes as no surprise because, again, that soft tyre has been the one to be on as the team watching on there. So that tells us straight away, if Adrian is on a tyre-saving mission, then that's all for one cause, and that cause is to try and score as many points as possible here in the Wharf Power Stage. So Adrian definitely having a go at it. At 6.49 kilometres PK, he is 6.1 seconds faster than Gregoire Munster. So for sure, right now, Adrian, the first man who's going to really set a considered benchmark time for us.
Yeah, let's see them. It's want to take something away from this tough old weekend. It's such a mental sport as well, isn't it, in terms of the psychology behind it, how to sort of keep yourself mentally strong and not get inside your own head with this run of bad luck he's having now. in a few rallies in a row. Seeing that podium in Monte Carlo seems like a long old time ago now.
Yeah, and that's a discussion I could have all day long, the psychological side of this sport, you know, and you're absolutely right. You've got to protect Adrian's head, but I have to say he is mentally quite strong. Stuff tends not to faze him. Really tricky downhill section now. You lose just how steep it is as you're coming down the mountain.
Yeah, some pretty nasty drop-offs as well on the outside of the corners there. You don't want to make a mistake through that sequence. With Jordan Sardegna then. I'm sure we'll be seeing him in a few weeks' time at his home events in Greece as well. Really interesting addition, isn't it, this one? 13, just under 14 kilometres long, sorry.
Oh, he just run wide, he's outbraked himself there, he's gotten away with it. Yeah. But you heard him, he knew he'd made the mistake as well, he was carrying too much speed into it. And you heard him react to it, but fortunately, was able to get away with it.
It's those crests, isn't it? That's what we saw in the first pass through this morning. If you just get the wrong pace and the wrong line through them.
That's knocked the wind out of him a little bit. He knows that he doesn't want to throw this all away right on the final stage. He's back right off again. But yeah, it's those blind crest peak. You're going up the hill. It's blind when you get to the top, and then suddenly, as you come over the peak of the hill, over the top of the hill, the road just veers off to the right. Very, very easy to get caught out.
Yeah, absolutely. Last couple of corners then for Sardegna. There we go.
Tough weekend for that man.
Yeah, rally complete. He did have the car on its roof on what was that, Saturday? Same corner as Taki Katsuta. That was Friday evening, of course, wasn't it?
Yeah,
blurred into one of these stages.
So much happening.
Couldn't keep up. And Thierry Neuville then, what's he going to do with the Wolf Power stage? He'll be desperate to get anything out of it he can.
Well, we thought Adrian Fourmeau was having a go. I can tell you, Neuville's well up on the splits. Neuville is going to, assuming he can get to the end safely, is going to go quicker than Fourmeau. Let's hear from Sardegna.
Jordan, that's the end of Sardegna. How was it out there this week?
This stage, very slippery. If you have to attack and get points there, I think you have to have big stomach, let's say. We enjoy a lot. I must thank also M Sport to repair the car after Friday, and I hope we will have a better one in Greece in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think we're all hoping M Sport have something to take away from Acropolis. We've certainly got the drivers to do it. Cannavaro Pera making his final preparations there just before the start, currently in third place for a second podium finish here in Sardinia. But yeah, you're right, Neuville really is giving it a go, isn't it? He's currently fifth in Super Sunday as well. That would be 1 point at least, so it's what's difficult for Thierry is he's at the back end, isn't he, of that championship fight, the 5 drivers there in that fight, and he's still going to be the lowest scorer of those 5 drivers, so he's got a bit of catching up to do, isn't he, in the defence of his title.
Oh, look at that. You could really see from the attitude of the car that Thierry Neuville was properly on it coming up the hill with Adrian Fourmeau now. He's not hanging around either, really committed over the crest. As soon as that car landed, he was stomped on the brakes. If you go and look at the data, the brake pressure there, it will be through the roof, trying to get it stopped into that right-hander where Emile dropped it.
Yeah,
Just a couple of corners to go.
I think it's steeper than it looks, isn't it? That you can't really see the gradient of the hill. But yeah, and that's a huge jump to finish for Adrian Fourmeau. Wow.
No messing. We've got to see that jump again. That was phenomenal from Fourmeau, wasn't it? But he's going to get beaten.
Here we
Look
go.
at that.
Wow.
It just stayed in the air for so long, didn't it? The road drops away.
It's a tarmac landing as well. They'll fill that one. Goodness me, I wish we had the markers out to see how far that was, actually. Plenty of French fans there. It's the first man through. It's the rally leader, of course, they'll be wanting to welcome in a few moments' time. 11:39.6 then for Formo, 11.7 seconds quicker than Greg Munster.
If Takamoto Katsuta is watching this before he starts the stage, the gauntlet's been laid down for the biggest jump.
Yeah, let's have a word with Adrian. Difficult weekend for him too.
Adrian, a huge jump there to finish off a weekend that promised so much, that delivered so little.
You know, it was difficult. The grip was lower than this morning in some places. In some places it was better, so it was changing quite a lot. Yeah, I don't know what will do the others, but there was a lot of sweeping for me. The lines were not good enough, so I did my best.
Well, he's echoed what Sardegna said, hasn't he? It's still quite slippery then, even on this second pass, so it's a tricky one to manage for those guys fighting at the front. Ogier, I think, will be relieved. He's got that buffer now of 17 seconds. Put the nightmare that unfolded of last year behind him, the Frenchman.
Thierry's doing what he said. He's throwing everything at this Piquet. Just right on board. Just watch this now.
Six and a half seconds up on Formo then at just under 11 kilometres. As you say, he's really giving it a go. Sammy Pyrie, the next man to come through, not getting anywhere near him, but yeah, Sammy just about bringing the car home now after this frustration of the final day. Give it to him shortly. Again, there really is no margin for error. So many large rocks lying just off the racing line.
Look how neat and tidy he is through there, thinking about his line. Look how much more speed he's carried than everybody else. The margin's so fine, nearly, just so nearly, giving that Bale on the right-hand side a cheeky little kiss. Thierry absolutely on it. Just using all the grip that he's got available to him. Unfortunately, though, those grip levels are just going to get better and better with every car that passes through.
Yeah, and you saw from the graphic as well, he's had to put 1.5 compounds anchored on the front left as well, just sort of run out of the soft tyres then as we get towards the finale. Here's Lindholm's crest. It's really getting crossed up. Very aggressive, isn't he, out there?
Look how much speed Thierry scrubbed off before the crest, thinking about need to get the car set up for the right-hander at the bottom of the hill into the left-hander, thinking about the exit speed coming out of that section.
Yeah, he's another driver who was fighting right at the front, one of our many rally leaders on Friday. It wasn't to be this weekend, sadly, for Neuville. But his title defence is going to take another hit this weekend. And it's a huge jump as well for Thierry. 7.4 seconds quicker than his teammate Formo, 11:32.2.
I think he could be happy with that because I don't think he could have done much else, PK.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Wow.
I think he's driven that car as fast as he possibly could with the grip levels available to him.
Those jumps are just getting bigger and bigger, aren't they, at that flying finish. They pretty much break the timing beam in the air on the final stage of this this rally. Takamoto Katsuta, Aaron Johnston, another to have a difficult weekend. Had the car on its roof on Friday. Stopped to change a wheel yesterday.
Full softs on that car. See it from Thierry.
Thierry, since crashing out in stage 5, you waited for this stage. Did it deliver what you thought?
I gave it all, so I can be happy with my stage. But it's just too much cleaning in there, so no Rally 5, Rally 2 cars in front this weekend, I don't know why. So at the end, lots of lines to make, but we tried hard and don't think it's going to be enough, but anyhow, really disappointed. I'm sorry for the team, but unfortunately, I think we really missed out of luck because everything felt under control at that point, and just a little surprise, obviously, which caught us. But that's rallying, so we know that we always keep fighting, and this gives us a lot of hope for the future.
Yeah, we saw that moment, didn't we, at the top of the show, that just tiny bit of love. And you think about how many corners they do in a weekend, Chenny, and it can just one corner
in a split second.
Yeah, exactly, and that's it. Not game over, but sort of ruins all the hard work. 15 centimetres offline, he reckons, when he clipped that wall. An absolutely incredible pace. That was a tricky stage, that one on Friday. So many incidents. Taka Katsuta, though, doing a good job of going a tiny bit quicker. It's not much in it.
He was a bit scrappy through there, and we saw Taka just running a little bit wide earlier on in the stage when we were listening to Thierry. Taka just needs to tidy this up a little bit.
They somehow, considering what he's gone through this weekend, he's still on for a top 5 finish as well, Chenny, which is bizarre to say when you think all the trials and tribulations he's had over the last couple of days.
That's what I mean about the momentum there. You can see the way that the car had just over-rotated a little bit, and he wasn't able to get it turned back in the direction that he needed to. The only way to do it then is just scrub off all the speed, so you just lose all your momentum and sacrifice your exit speed. So Taka just... I mean, again, I think he only dropped a couple of tenths, really, but it's just, that's what I mean about the momentum when it goes corner to corner to corner to corner like that.
Yeah, and Sammy been in the wars, hasn't he, today? He saw that spin and contact made at the top of the show, and they've had a bit of work done, haven't they, on this this car in the previous service?
Yeah, I'm told that a new rear left hub assembly and drive shaft gone into that car, and dampers as well. So yeah, it's a real shame for Sammy this morning. And that's why we think it was just the drive shaft had been damaged. Basically, it was still in, and you can't attack, you can't go flat out there because you just do a whole load more damage. So the team did an incredible job to do their best within the 15 minutes available.
Incredible, isn't it?
It's quite phenomenal, and Sammy is going to get the car to the end of the rally. And I've got to say as well, Friday and Saturday for Sammy Piari was so good.
Yeah.
Just took a step up, didn't he? Didn't worry about anybody else around him, just focused on his own job, and yeah, has been impressive this weekend.
Yeah, he was on for a personal best equaling 4th. He's now slipped to 7th with all those issues. Yes, he nursed them through the last few stages before that service, but yeah, still another positive weekend for the young Finn. You just know that first podium is going to come sooner or later. Not wanting to get involved, of course, in terms of the power stage, 25 seconds. This is a feature of his season we've seen, isn't it? He doesn't want to get too involved in his championship chasing Toyota teammates, but another job well done for the Finn.
7.7.
Well done, valuable points for the team.
Yeah, of course, he's scoring points for his own. It's like the Toyota reserve team, isn't it, that he's notching up points for himself as well. Of course, Elvin Evans and Scotty Martin leading the Drivers' Championship still. But how much is that 30-point advantage going to be trimmed to by the end of this stage? Let's see. Remains to be seen.
Elvin's really got to dig deep through here, try and get ahead of Thierry Neuville. Meanwhile, Taka is losing a little bit of time. We saw him drop a bit of momentum. He's now 6/10 slower than Thierry.
As high as 4th at points over the weekend. Do you take positives away from this of what you learned, or is it an opportunity missed?
Maybe today the feeling has been a bit mixed, but anyway, I think there was already, again, quite much some positives as well. Tricky event, must say. We saw a lot of moments from many drivers, so for sure it was not easy. But still, to come to the finish, that was the most important. So we managed it. So big thanks to the team again. There was some extra job for them, so they did absolutely amazing. So really grateful for them.
Yeah, nice words from Sammy thanking the team. Very hot one out there today as well, I can tell you that, here in the service park, even alongside the water, so that would have been hot work for the Toyota boys. Meanwhile, Elvin Evans, as you can see, going a little bit quicker again. There's not much in it, but as you say, Chenny, he'll want to really try and take at least some points away from, or as many points as he can away from Thierry Neuville, because the other 3 guys in that championship fight are all ahead of him.
Still very loose, isn't it? PK, the back of the car moving around quite a bit.
Yeah, we heard a few of the drivers at the stop line there still complaining about the lack of grip even on this second pass, or the unpredictable grip as well. It's sort of improved in some places and worse in other places, which is strange for a second run. And that pace as well, continuing to go away from Taka Katsuta, now a second down.
Thierry looked really clean on his way up the hill, didn't he? We watched him there, and he just looked really tidy. Wasn't losing any momentum or kind of pointing the front of the car away from where it needed to be. That's what he was focusing on. And that's where Taka's just dropped away a little bit, only by 0.6 of a second, then up to a second at 10.998 kilometers. Elfyn Evans 0.6 up on Thierry at 6.49. We're still waiting for the next split to come in as Elfyn makes his way up the hill. This is Taka now just coming down to the finish. Elfyn's dropped away. 1.3 slower than Thierry's. I'm saying Thierry looked so good coming up the hill, didn't he?
Yeah, big swing in momentum between 6 and 9 kilometres there for the Welshman. Hopefully that's nothing untoward. It is just, as you say, the pace of Thierry. Oh, Taka!
Can't be doing that again. So easy to outbrake yourself, isn't it?
Yeah. That is so tricky, this descent. Can't emphasise that enough. We've seen a number of moments, and that's obviously probably put paid to any hopes. 2.9 seconds dropped. And half of that, you can look how frustrated he is.
Massive jump from Taka. 10 out of 10 for that one. 3 out of 10 for the final kilometre or so. Up until that point, it was tidy, wasn't it?
Yeah, but, top 5 finish, though.
Unfortunate time on power stage, 11:35.1, 351, and currently P2. Good job, guys.
And this man could be fun to watch in here as well. Kalle Rovanperä won the first running this morning, remember. He loves a power stage push.
I reckon Kay will be right on it through here, PK.
Taka just taking your helmet off now. Taka just hearing that the right at the end was a little moment, but you got away with it.
No, it's not a little moment, just a stupid mistake. There's a lot of rules and couldn't turn in. Yeah, basically the idea was stuck in a very soft loose surface, so yeah. It's a shame, but next one, Greece. I feel quite confident some places in the car, so I think try to get a good result in the Greece.
Yeah, it could be one to watch, couldn't he? At least he's got that top 5 finish under his belt after a difficult weekend.
It was an unfortunate mistake from Taka, just not able to get the car slowed down and turned in into that right-hander. We move on. We saw that exact same thing from Taka there. The front of the car just buries itself a little bit, and you just get this huge plume of dust come up over the bonnet of the car.
But as you said, Chetty, Rovanperä, we expected it. Inside the car, absolute passengers getting thrown around like a washing machine in there.
Look at that.
2.3 seconds.
Yeah, what you can see on your screen is to Elfyn.
That's to Elfyn, sorry.
Yeah, that's to Elfyn, who was quickest, but Elfyn's really dropping away from Thierry now. So let's keep our focus on Thierry Neuville as the comparison. He's 4.2 seconds faster than Thierry at 6.49 kilometres.
Be really interesting, won't it, to see how he compares that real neat and tidy section for Neuville towards the finish. Kalle, can he maintain this momentum down the hill? Look at the steering input inside the car. It's a great view, isn't it, as he searches for the fastest line through this difficult section.
Kalle throwing everything at this one for sure. Elfyn Evans, meanwhile, just dropping away from Thierry, now 2 seconds slower. That's confirmed on your screen. He's not going to beat him in the power stage. It's too much. It's too much of an ask to try and find 2 seconds now.
He's also on, remember, for a couple of points in Super Sunday standings. He's currently in 4th place there. He's got a healthy lead as well over Thierry Neuville of over 14 seconds. So at least that is a couple of points secured there. fourth place. Probably would have taken it, wouldn't he, Chenny, after at the start of the rally, if you think how difficult it was for him running first on the road all the way through Friday. Let's look at that next split. They've brought it back a little bit, 1.7 now.
Too little, too late, I'm sure of it. Yeah, but in answer to your question, PK, it's been a great drive from Elfyn Evans.
Yeah.
And the car has been so solid, hasn't it? You know, and you can't come here and open the road and expect not to get punished. It just doesn't work like that. And Elfyn's just been so patient, driven his own rally. Other people got involved in battles, and you know, he's just done his own thing, and he's been rewarded with fourth place.
3 seconds then, slower in the end than Neuville. Still the Belgian with the power stage benchmark. It's a 11:35.2 for Evans, but a top 4 finish. That'll be very helpful for his championship.
He'll look at the timing sheet and be frustrated with that. Tacker's second quickest in the power stage at the moment by a tenth of a second, so Tacker's nabbed a point.
You know, we're in a championship with these guys at the end of the day, so they have been very fast, and obviously we still want to be better to fight more at the sharp end of them.
Yeah, all about that championship fight as we get to the midway points of the season. Meanwhile, the pace continues for Kalle Rovanperä as he comes down the hill, 5.3 seconds quicker than the Neuville benchmark at just about 8.6 kilometres.
Really good example there, PK, who's coming through that hairpin left of just manipulating the car with the handbrake. You see how the car got away from you? He just grabbed it slightly. Again, there goes that right hand, just to nip it. And you're just releasing the diff. It just releases the back of the car, points the front where you want it to go. Really a useful tool on a real tight, twisty section like this.
Yeah, only the one podium finish to his name here on the Italian islands in, I think it was 6 attempts. He's never had the rub of the green here, but he's not enjoying the stages as much as he does others, but he's certainly working out how to get the best of them. Might not have been able to match Tanak and Ogier, but he clearly has been the best of the rest. And that was from running second on the road as well, wasn't it? On Friday. 6 seconds up now.
It's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. I mean, Thierry will be watching this going, yeah, fair play. That's quite impressive, because Thierry had a good run. Yes, I know the grip levels were definitely suboptimal for Thierry Neuville, but that's just spectacular from Kalle Rovanperä.
He's currently third as well in the Super Sunday standings, at 7.2 seconds behind Tanak. Doubtful he'll make all of that up in this stage, but he's certainly doing everything he can to lay down a marker. Tanak is a little bit slower than him as well in the stage behind. So still currently Neuville with that benchmark. It was a really good run for Thierry, wasn't it? That was FX de Maison.
Do you remember on Friday we were talking about how the Hyundais were using the soft tyres when the Toyotas were running the hards? Now, at least on my tyre scans, we've got Oyt Tanak with 2 hards on the front and softs on the rear. Kalle Rovanperä's got softs all round, and for me, if you've got a set of softs, this is definitely the stage you want to be running a soft tyre on. I think Hyundai have just run out of soft compound tyres.
Matthew Latvala watching on the tense moments for the team, isn't it, as they wait for their charges to come down the hill. Such a strong weekend again for Toyota. Hyundai still waiting for that first win of 2025. The last victory was Oyt Tanak back in Central Europe last October. They're getting closer and closer, but it's just not happening yet, is it, for them this year?
That's a phenomenal statistic, really, isn't it, for Toyota, and a pretty damn darkening one for Hyundai. They've got to stick a car back on the top step of the podium, but not if these guys have anything to do with it. 8.3 seconds. How do you do that?
I mean, he does it. He surprises us every time, doesn't it? And it's he just looks so calm about it, doesn't he? At the end of the stage, you always feel like he's got more in him, which is incredible to say. attacker.
I think that's actually getting worse there. I think I do think the final kilometre of this stage is starting to really get worse. There you go, he's dropped a couple of tenths. Elvin dropped a few tenths as well, but that is...
Wow.
8.1 seconds faster than Thierry Neuville. That's spectacular,
Incredible,
isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's over, it's in double digits quicker than Elvin Evans at 11:24.1 for Callum Rovanperä. Is that to be another power stage win for the Finn? It's going to take some fixing.
11:24.1, fastest so far by 8.1 seconds. 8.1 seconds. Congratulations for
8.1 seconds. That's spectacular.
Kyle Lidstrom just congratulating him there. I think this could be his 20th power stage win if he can hold on. If my stats are correct, he's up there anyway. Oh, so then to the final pairing, Sébastien Ogier, Vincent Landais. This time last year it was heartbreak, wasn't it? Let's hear from Calais.
Calais Rovanperä, you do special stages pretty often. Over 8 seconds quicker than anyone else through here so far, and everyone behind you is red as well. What a stage.
Yeah, surprised with the time. It didn't feel good for sure, but I think it's the same for everybody. It's so special stage, so narrow and slow that I was struggling all the time with the understeer. So yeah, if the time is good, I can be happy. Our plan was to have a clean weekend and then collect what we have at the end. So really clever drive, I would say. No risks, no stupid moves the whole weekend. Maybe today on the dance floor, but at least not yet. So I can be quite happy. Thanks to the team, the car was good this weekend.
You can see that's why he was using the handbrake so much to try and counteract the understeer, getting the back of the car to force the front where it wants to go, rather than relying on just on the steering angle. That is quite incredible from Calais Rovanperä. He's such a cool customer as well, isn't he?
What a cracking line as well to finish. Maybe no move, saving his moves for the dance floor later on. Yeah, he's done a really good job, and it's a rally now. He's never had the rub of the green, but he's certainly now got a second podium position. This man, Seb Ogier, though, as Julian said, it is still red numbers behind Rovanperä, but crucially the hard work's already been done, hasn't it, for the Frenchman, coming in here with a 17.2 second lead in the overall standings. He also comes in with a 6.1 second lead in the Super Sunday standings. We talked about it last year, Chenny, but there is a decision to be made at some point this summer. Is Seb Ogier going to go for title number 9?
I'd like to see it happening, but I've got to be honest, PK, that super... simple as that. Now,
my goodness.
You've got to get that in reverse as quickly as possible, recover that. Now, that's, for me, I think that's Super Sunday gone.
Yeah, well, it could be.
But I think the rally lead is safe, but that's Super Sunday gone. That's twice on this stage now. I've seen Sébastien Ogier make a mistake earlier on this morning, and again...
Let's have a look, talk us through it.
Just coming down into the left-hander now. It's this right-hander here. He's offline. This is what I mean about you've got to control the back of the car. You've got to get the front of the car pointed where you want. You've got to keep the momentum. And Seb just lost the back of the car. There was no recovery from it. He's pointed it at the tree, and he wasn't able to get it turned into the right-hander.
I was going to say, if it wasn't for that small little tree there, it actually kind of helped him in a way. It stopped him, didn't it? Otherwise, he could have been off down the bank. He got away with one there, as you say. Certainly, that's him done for all power stage points. We've got to keep an eye on that Super Sunday gap. As you say, 6 seconds is a lot of momentum drop there, wasn't it? Getting it back on the road in reverse. But as you say, I think the lead should be safe. Again, last stage drama for Seb Ogier. He ended up losing last year, remember, in the Wolf Power stage by just 0.2 of a second, the joint closest ever finish. Oh, well, we always thought there could still be drama down to the finish line. Back to Tanak, Channing.
8.6 seconds up on Sébastien Ogier, 6.49 kilometres. Those are the splits to Calais Rovanperä. You can ignore those. It's to Sébastien Ogier we're keeping our eye on. 8.6 seconds faster than Seb.
Yeah,
at 6.49.
So that will be a switch in the Super Sunday standing. So that could be 5 points to Tanak and just 4 then to Ogier.
Super Sunday's gone. That's gone. If Tanak keeps this neat and tidy, that's gone. If Seb makes another mistake, it's the lead now that becomes the concern for him. He's got to tidy this up.
Yeah, absolutely. As you say, 8.6 then. He's still got that buffer. He'll be relieved he pulled out that 17.2 second lead coming into this one. He could actually slip down to third, couldn't he, in the Super Sunday standings. We'll see how that shakes out, because it was such a dominant run. No major damages there when he bumped into that tree. But, oh, goodness me.
It's definitely starting to get more boggy there, isn't it? It's really dusty, really soft, hard to get the car stopped and turned in. The final part of this stage is getting worse for sure. Again, reflected in the time.
Yeah,
He's dropped a second in just like the last 3 or 4 corners.
So 9 seconds slower than for Tanak, but it is a second place finish for the Estonian. Another great job, great weekend, and what a fight it was.
Thank you, Martin. Your time 11:33.1, 11:33.1, 8.9 slower than Rovanpera. Kilometer 6.4. Oye is coming 8.6 slower, 8.6. He have a moment.
So just relaying all the information to him. I think that's his 55th podium finish, Jenny. Great drive, just sort of petered out, didn't it, that fight? So back to Ogier and Vincent Landais then. Be interested to see the next split time come through. 12.1 seconds. It's getting a bit close here, Jenny. 10.6 down on Tanak.
Right, it's going to be a second place, I think. Even though Seb has made a small mistake, you're 10 up on the split, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, I did a clean run, obviously. All weekend been quite struggling here, and yeah, Seb and Toyota, they've been very strong package, so I mean, yeah, another super demanding rally for the car as well, and it's been a tough job, but yeah, we did everything from our side, and yeah, I didn't have too much left.
I think he's given everything, hasn't he? But this next split time, Chenny, at 10.9 kilometres could be very interesting, because it seems to still be ebbing away the time. He went from 8.6 down on Tanak to 10.6 down. Very nervous moments for the team back at the service base. That's Jari-Matti Latvala, the team boss, watching on.
Seb's just, he'll have gotten away with it. They're so strong, these cars. He just gave that tree a little kiss, didn't he? The only thing you'd be concerned about is the cooling package in the front of the car, and I think he'll be okay. He's just got to just keep it neat and tidy. It's such a difficult stage, this. It's bitty, so hard to get any sort of flow. And like I said, you've got to keep the back of the car under control, carry the momentum, and as soon as it over-rotates, that's exactly what happens, because it is left to right to left to right. A rare mistake from Sébastien Ogier as he approaches the 10.9 kilometre mark.
Now, just to reiterate that in the Super Sunday standings, that run from Rovanpera has put him ahead of Tanak, actually, by 1.8 seconds. So it remains to be seen where Ogier is going to fit into that mix as we watch him come towards the 10.9 kilometre split time. The drivers are watching on down there in the shade. Their weekend is done. And what a run that was from Kalle Rovanpera, who's already been congratulated. And this is what it would do at the moment. 6.6 the gap. Let's have a look at this split then.
Look at the big rocks that have been pulled out on the inside.
16.5 down. That's on Rovanpera.
Yeah, 10 seconds.
10 seconds is still.
It's okay. So he's got about 7 seconds to play with.
Yeah, but he can't afford any more errors. And it was down on this descent earlier, wasn't it? Over one of those crests that he got a little bit offline. He won't make that mistake again.
Oh, don't say that now, Pico.
Yeah, he's just put himself under a bit of pressure, hasn't he, with that moment. Well, we always see down-to-the-wire fights, it seems, in Sardinia. And once again, we've got a little bit of last-minute drama for the Frenchman, but it was heartbreak for him last year. Let's hope he can just keep this together, as you say. Just the last few kilometres now. Been another masterful drive though, hasn't it, all weekend, Jenny? I mean, he loves to fight with Tanak, but he was able to slam the door shut sort of yesterday afternoon, wasn't he?
Spectacular drive from Seb, just what we expect from him. He's always quick, clean and consistent is the key. He keeps himself out of trouble, and what he's done so well as well this weekend is look after the tyres. He's so good at that, he's so smooth, and you know, all the things, the key attributes that make Sébastien Ogier so good have come to the fore this weekend, haven't they? Because it has been such a difficult rally, and one that has proved, I think, that you need experience in this sport to prosper. Those young drivers that didn't have the experience, they're all the ones that came unstuck this weekend. and this man now just ebbing ever closer to his 5th victory, and one that will make him, as far as I understand it, the most successful driver on this island.
He absolutely will be. Here's the next split then, 18 seconds down, and what a time that was from Rovanpera. Nobody within 8 seconds of the thing, but yeah, for Ogier, that's now 9.8 down on Tanaki, so he's actually bringing it back as he tries to fight back from that small mistake at the top of the hill.
I cannot get over the speed that Kalle Rovanpera's got through this stage at.
Absolutely unbelievable. He's got through Taka's sandy corner there, so he's almost within reach now of yet another victory here. He's done it. It is number 5. A record-breaking 5th Sardinia victory then for Ogier. He takes away that record that he shared with Seb Loeb, and of course it is also a 64th victory for the 8-time champion, and that's also a 99th win for Toyota. And that certainly does make up for the heartbreak of last year. It's his turn to stand on the roof, and what a great job as well from Vincent Rondet. Masterful performance and back-to-back wins, Chenny.
He kept us on our toes all the way to the finish, didn't he?
He just.
A mistake in here on the first run-through, a mistake again on the second run-through, but I have to say, PK, he deserved the win this weekend. You know, you have to be able to put it all together, and if you don't, there's his daughter and his dad, and if you don't put it all together, then you can expect it's not going to fall into your hands. Let's hear from him.
Seb, you like to have a nail-biting end in a power stage in Sardinia. What went on in there? What happened?
In the ruts, I just couldn't turn the car, and then I just it was no speed at all, so I didn't try to force it and hit it, so I prefer to stop and reverse. But yeah, not ideal, but enough to win.
Enough to win 5 times now in Sardinia. What is it about this place and Sébastien Ogier?
I don't know. I think it's like other places, you know. There's many places I won many times, so it's just a characteristic of rally I like, where precise driving is required, but also smooth for tire management. And thanks, team. Great turnaround after Portugal in terms of speed and setup, so good job.
Congratulations.
Yeah, great job from the team, of course, wasn't it? That was a late reshuffle as well then, Chenny, in the Super Sunday. Ended up being Kalle Rovanpera. Takes the 5 points. Ogier slipping to 3rd. Gets the 3 points there, but yeah, back-to-back victories